Hello, hello everybody, and welcome to Change Now Summit, to day 2, which started about 1 hour ago. And I am Anna, I am your host for the day, and I'm very happy to be sharing this session with you all, in which we'll be talking, discussing, and listening to solutions about sustainable cities. Before we go into the pitching of the sessions itself, I would like to introduce some of the people that are here with us today, that are the experts on the subject that will help share thoughts, feedbacks, and questions at the end of the session as well. And I'm going to start with Julie Blaine from InfraCity Fund. She is our expert on sustainable cities today, and I am going to ask Julie to talk to us for about 3 minutes about the topic of sustainable cities, why does it matter, and just to help us frame a little bit of today's session.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning. Hello to everybody. Thank you for inviting me to speak here at the opening of this session. My name is Julie Blaine. I'm a founding general partner of InfraCity. We're launching a venture fund to invest in urban tech startups at their Series A and pre-Series A rounds. We focus on European technology companies with solutions that decarbonize physical infrastructure and at scale to make cities and living environments more sustainable. The InfraCity team has over 40 years of track record scaling technology and infrastructure globally, including taking 5 companies public, raising over $1 billion in equity. So we see fantastic entrepreneurs, often from industry backgrounds, using technology to reimagine living environments to be climate resilient and have solutions that are sustainable in a net zero economy. And importantly, where outcomes increase accessibility to renewable energy, clean water, and unpolluted air to make cities more affordable, healthier, and ultimately more inclusive places to live. So with impetus from climate risks that challenge our living environments, combined with the aspirations of the Sustainable Development Goals, we think that getting to a net zero economy by 2050, every investment here makes an impact. And cities, as we know, have a tremendous impact on our planet. Many of you also probably already know that over half the world's population live in cities. Urbanization will continue to happen. And cities are one of the largest contributors to carbon emissions, consume nearly 2/3 of the world's energy. So now at the start of this momentous decade, it's a huge opportunity, both to reimagine how and what we build, and to invest for future generations. Here at ChangeNOW, the Sustainable Cities sessions yesterday and today address the themes that we're really excited to see. How technology is tackling the specific challenges of modern urban life with solutions that emphasize circularity and sustainability. So as investors, we look to support entrepreneurs from diverse backgrounds to innovate and to scale. And I'm so looking forward to hearing today's pitches, and I'm inviting other potential co-investors in the room to connect. So really, thank you. I'm looking forward to the session today and hearing from my colleagues. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Julie. Beautiful introduction and beautiful setting the scene for the next half an hour that we will spend together. And I'm going to introduce now one by one the members of the jury that we have today. And I'm going to introduce them one by one and kindly ask you to also quickly say a quick few words about yourselves. What do you work on and your connection with today's topic. And the first member of the jury we have is Hélène Milot from EDF. Hey, Hélène.
Hi. I'm Hélène Milot. I'm the EDF Group Regional Director for the region of Île-de-France. Very, very pleased to be with you today and so proud to be a collaborator of EDF for more than 30 years, a group which aim is to build our low carbon future. My mission as a regional director is to initiate, to build and to coordinate projects initiated by the various EDF Group businesses. This ensures that EDF continues to drive and speed up the energy transition process to become carbon neutral, more socially responsible, and to provide better support for urban projects in the region. To achieve this, EDF in Ile-de-France is involved into the production of local renewable energy plants, the development of green mobility infrastructure, the regeneration and the energetic efficiency of former sites of buildings, as well as initiatives to create jobs, CSR projects, and of course, innovations. So,
Thank you so much.
very impatient to discover the 5 pictures coming, as well as EDF is used to be the partner of all your projects for more sustainable cities.
Thank you so much, Helen. Very happy to have you here with us today. And the second member of our jury is Claude Sébastien Lerbourg. I hope I'm pronouncing it at least decently. Hey, Claude Sébastien.
Hi everyone. Yes, Claude Sébastien Lerbourg, not easy to say with the R in English. So I'm in charge of the corporate ventures team in Europe for Saint-Gobain. We call it NOVA. And the mission of NOVA is to identify startups that can contribute to the strategy of the group and structure partnerships and investments in those startups. The Saint-Gobain group is very involved in sustainabilities of the cities through all the materials it manufactures and also through the distribution of those of the building materials in the cities. So we are definitely engaged in manufacturing those materials with a lower carbon footprint, using as much as possible the circularity. Those are axes that we try to invest and support. We have invested in 2 startups in this area, and we have actually a lot of R&D projects since many years that have been inventing solutions that could help make cities more sustainable. So we try to identify partners that could be especially startups which would push the adoptions of those inventions or collaborate with their own invention and see how we can boost this adoption to the market and help to innovate.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And we look forward for your questions and thoughts at the end of the session. And last but not least, we have with us Julie Blaine from InfraCity Fund. Welcome, Julie.
Hello, thank you. Yes, I'm a founding general partner at InfraCity Fund. We're a new venture fund launching in London to look at European urban tech companies that have solutions for resource efficiency and sustainability for physical infrastructure in living environments.
Perfect. So you had a double role with us, the expert introducing the topic and the member of the jury. So it is now time to hear the pitches and the solutions of the startups that have joined us here today. And the first solution that we are going to hear comes from Manon Cornet, Ekkoten Urban Comfort. Hello, Manon. Can you
Hello,
hear
everyone.
us? Hello.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
We can see your slide as well.
Okay, I can click to change the slides, or
you should be able to if you have used the clicker code. If you are not able to manage,
it's okay. I'll ask you to change the slide if it's okay.
Yes. So just say please change slide every time, and it will be okay.
Okay. Okay. So hi everyone, and thank you very much for having me today. Thank you also for the introduction of this session. My name is Manon, and I'm representing today the company Ekkoten Urban Comfort. Ekkoten is an environmental company helping urban stakeholders to build climate-proof cities. Next. Heat waves are more and more frequent and more intense. There will be in the upcoming years and this generates several consequences in the city. It generates a higher energy consumption because everyone is trying to cool their home with air conditioning. It also generates a high heat stress for citizens and a poor air quality because heat interferes with air pollutants. Next. So in order to mitigate these consequences at the city level, at Ekkoten, we are helping cities to understand where to take action by identifying hotspots in the city, and also how to take action by simulating different urban design and understand the impact on the microclimate. Next. So in order to understand, to identify the hotspot in the city, we combine different data sets. The first one is the distribution of the heat over the city. Second one is the density of the vulnerable population, so often elderly people and young people. And also we look at the density of vegetation and water body as their infrastructure known for their cooling properties. Next. And once we combine these three layers, these three elements, we obtain what we call the urban heat vulnerability map, which is a map that helps the city to understand the threat of extreme heat events in the city, and therefore they can target their action more efficiently. Next. On top of this city scale analysis, we also provide solution at the neighborhood level. We have what we call the microclimate simulation, which allow us to model different urban design in 3D and understand the impact of this different urban design on the microclimate. And therefore, we're able to predict and compare what strategy would be the most efficient to cool the urban environment. Next. As we provide these services, we're able to work remotely, and we've been working with several cities over the world, and we would be very happy to collaborate. If you want to know more about our projects, I will tell you more in our booth, and we would be very happy to continue the discussion. Thank you for your attention, and wishing you a great event at ChangeNOW. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you, Manon, so much. Great start of the pitching session, and just on time as well. So happy to have this session flowing. I look forward to see the kind of questions and thoughts that everything you shared with us, and the solution you have designed, what will awaken in the members of the jury and in the people present here. Next, we have with us Clément Marty from Unico France.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me well?
Hello. Yes, we can hear you.
Nice.
And we can see your slides.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, I can start. Well, hello everyone. Thanks for welcoming me today. It's a really great opportunity for Unico to make our everyday commitment international. So I'm Clément, CEO and co-founder of the young green tech Unico. And in one sentence, we aim at becoming the first worldwide ERP of the circular economy. Basically, we offer a digital turnkey service for the players of the circular economy in order to optimize and facilitate their logistics. Briefly, we developed 3 solutions: a web app for the logistics of the waste collector department, but also operational solutions for the field. To illustrate this, we developed the kind of waste app for the waste collection, and finally an educative and playful mobile app to inform the final user. Next, please. Well, to set the scene, waste collection, just in France, it's more than 10,000 rounds per day. It means carbon rejected into the atmosphere, particles, pollution, and noise disturbances inside our cities. But it's also a really expensive sector, with more than 20 billion of euros spent in a year. And of course, waste sector also has to change. That's why European and also international policies, huge territories and cities, and private actors to innovate and move toward a better waste management and circular economy. Because unfortunately, France isn't an isolated case, and the whole world keep producing more and more and more waste. It has to be regulated, modernized, and digitalized. Next, please. With Unico, we promise to facilitate the logistics with an operational time savings, but simplifying requires also monitoring with more than 20 KPIs. And then the crucial point that we really want to develop is also optimize the budget with a financial gain at the end. But above all, we want to put forward the last figure, which is the environmental impact with significant figures as the carbon footprint or the particle pollution of the activity. Next, please. Here are the 3 digital solutions detailed at the beginning that aim to bring innovation inside our territories. Well, first, the web platform centralizes the management of the activities, which is the ERP side. Then embedded, easy-to-use and robust solutions for the field operators. And finally, an educative solution for citizens. Next, please. Then with Unico, we try to get the broader vision we can about the future of circular economy and how the tech, digital, and startups can play a crucial role. We pretend really that logistics does not necessarily mean profitability, optimization, and pressure, but that it could also get along with other things like impact, environmental, and social commitment. Thank you for listening. I will be happy to answer your questions.
Thank you so much. Beautiful way of presenting and of framing your solution in terms of after tomorrow as well, regarding the future and what it brings to us. So thank you, Clement. And we can now move to Dikshita Bangalore from Urbanistic.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Just let me check my clicker.
Yes, we can see it. It's working.
Yes.
It seems to be working.
Great. So, hi, I'm Dikshita Bangalore. I work in sustainability and research at Urbanistic. So, this is how a typical planning process looks like. It's labor intensive and time consuming. To develop an iterative design across several stakeholders, it results in repetitive and redundant tasks. The process generally starts with a set of requirements or a concept, and then the planner must design while having several contextual factors in mind, which often requires analysis from experts and consultants, and this again leads to design changes, and the process goes on and on and on. So here's how Urbanistic redefines the process. We use a digital semantic model to bring together different layers of information and a toolbox for analysis. This means you do not have to start any project with a ground zero, but always with relevant and responsive contextual data. With the Urban Planning Toolbox, you can quickly draw your design on the planning context and get advice on key density factors like accessibility to services, green space, shading, noise dispersion, and much more. So this way you can generate the influence of design decisions on your context in real time, helping you answer questions as they arise. In this video, you can see one of our projects where we analyze the urban heat island potential of a district quarter with different policies so that they were able to act instead of react to the current and future climates. Here you can see how sorry, this video does not seem to be working. Okay, there it is. Here you can see how the platform provides feedback from local building policy and compliance. Our software is user-friendly and visual and does not need experts to perform analysis. After this, automatic report generation for design comparisons, and you reduce the decision-making time from several months to a mere few hours. Therefore, our key clients would not only be planners but also governing bodies, policymakers, architects, and project developers. Our main revenue comes from 3 areas: licensing fees for the platform, customization for specific project needs, and consultation for smart cities. Our first challenge is to enter the German market, and our midterm and long-term goals are to integrate into the DACH region and then into the European market. As you can see, we have a very substantial market. I think we are the best team to bring this digitization to the industry. We are a young company, but the technical know-how comes from 6 years of research at the Technical University of Munich. Our third founder is experienced several years in real estate development and handles the business aspects. And this will be a platform made for designers by designers. So join Urbanistic as we bring future of urban planning right to your fingertips. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dikshita, and really nice graphics and visuals in your presentation. Thank you for sharing them with us. And we can now move to the fourth solution of the session. We have Maher Chebo from Aksanta here with us today. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hey Maher, we can hear you.
Okay.
I think, and we can see your slides now.
Okay. Now I think I need to click on the submit of the code here. Okay, okay, now we can see the slide. Good.
Yes.
So thank you for the opportunity. So we are acting in the market of renovating buildings or equipping new buildings with an optimal energy efficiency solution and decarbonization solution. Aksanta is a company which is providing artificial intelligence-based software as a service, like the brain, which can help monitor these buildings and then come to significant results that could help the energy transition. So today we have in France 44% of the French energy consumption which comes from buildings. About 28% of the French carbon emissions comes from buildings. And then if you look inside the building, the HVAC, which is the heating and cooling and ventilation, this is contributing to 75% of the emissions. Go next. So how does Aksanta tackle the challenge today? Next. So we developed, and that started a few years ago in the Center of Research of the École Polytechnique in France, École des Mines of Paris, and in relationship with the BRGM, a software model that can help programming per constraints to make the sizing of the solution. So if you take a building, you have 2 things to do. One is to monitor it. So you have all the equipments that are already in place, and you need to monitor it continuously in real time, that you make sure always you are learning from the practices, how many people are there, and you make sure as well that you keep planning the heating and the cooling at the right time, depending on the prediction of the weather. So this is the solution about the piloting of the energy consumption. And then you have another part, which is the production from renewables. And this is where we also have developed the research through these research centers we have developed. It's through a technology of interseasonal geothermal storage. Basically, you take the energy which is produced or in excess, which is lost anyway, or if you have an excess of solar, for example, during the summer, you take it and you storage through geothermal storage, like 100 or 200 meters below the surface, and then you use it during the winter, for example, when you need it. So this is what we call interseasonal geothermal storage. So by that technology, you are producing up to 70% or even more of the needs of the building of HVAC, and this is just by storing things that are lost, like excess energy that comes from the sun, solar thermal, or that could come from a waste heat, for example, that comes from air conditioning during the summer. So 2 solutions. One is really piloting. So you have a building and you make sure that people are really heating and ventilating and cooling according to the needs. And for that, we need the brain, we need the software that predicts what the material will be in the next days. And you make sure continuously in real time you are taking care of that. And the second one is the storage. Next one.
I'm sorry to have to cut you off, Maher. Thank you for your presentation. I hope you managed to share everything you wanted with us today.
Sure.
And thank you for taking us through not one but two solutions in the world of energy efficiency. And we can now move to the last presentation of this session. We have Ton Jami sharing about the solution they have developed at Green Gems. Ton, are you with us?
Yes, hi. Good morning.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Tarun Jami. I'm the founder of Green Gems, and we exist to create a beautiful carbon-neutral built environment through material innovation. So we'll go through the problem first. Approximately, I mean, this is a well-known fact, about 45% of global carbon emissions come from the built environment because of the space conditioning of buildings and the construction and the production of construction materials as well as the construction activities. On the other hand, approximately 2 billion tons of crop residues are burnt annually all across the world. In India alone, that number is about 100 million tons, which causes approximately $27 billion in health-related expenditure. So these are two major problems that we wanted to tackle, and we came up with just one solution. We call it Agrocrete. It's a carbon-negative building material, which is made of crop residues and industrial byproducts. So, and Agrocrete is very versatile. At this current point, we have Agrocrete in the form of in three forms. One is a solid block, the other is a hollow block, and then the plaster. The solid block is most useful for low-rise structures and load-bearing walls, so it essentially replaces steel and concrete in low-rise structures. The hollow block is essentially used to make the walls in high-rise buildings with structural frame structure. And the plaster is essentially used for premium quality finishes and reduce the amount of paint and other finishing materials required while achieving custom aesthetic finishes. So the customer value proposition is this. Essentially what we replace with Agrocrete in the solid blocks is the clay bricks. So when you make 1 square meter of wall using clay bricks, you're spending approximately $30. The same wall made with Agrocrete can be made for only $17, making it cheaper by almost 50%. And once we have the carbon credits, it's going to become 50%. And because of the improved energy efficiency as a result of Agrocrete, which in itself is thermally insulating, we can also reduce the energy consumption by 25%. So the annual impact is actually pretty significant. A single manufacturing unit producing about 3,000 blocks per day is per annum preventing the emissions of 3,000 tons of carbon dioxide emissions if we were to use clay bricks. Instead of letting that happen, we're actually capturing 1,600 tons of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, preventing 1,500 tons of crop residues from being burned, and catering to housing requirements for almost 13,500 square meters. Because of the lower cost of construction, per annum, we're saving approximately $72,000 in construction cost. So our team is actually led by seasoned professionals. We have almost 35 years of experience within the team, experience constructing over $1 billion worth of construction. And there is me. I'm also a PhD. I'm also pursuing a PhD in vegetable concrete on the same topic. We're currently raising our first seed round of approximately of about $500,000, and we look forward to connecting to the investors present here today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ton, and thank you, everybody sharing your ideas with us today. We are aware the time of presentations is very short, but for those of you who want to share more or to go deeper into details, there will be space in the networking room at the link that my colleagues have been sharing in the chat. So we now have about 5 minutes for questions. So any of you who have questions to any of the projects that you have heard presented right now, this is the moment to share them. I invite you to frame them in short sentences so that we can get some quick answers and we can move through as many questions as possible. Who would like to start with the questions? Okay, please, Julie.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody who pitched today. It was great to hear about your solutions. And so my question is to all of you, if we could. So like the frame I'm having is that the digital solutions, like what we heard, are fantastic to identify where efficiencies and optimization can be unlocked. And obviously new materials are also important to innovate. But I want to focus on your challenge. What is your biggest challenge to scale across regions? Because geography can impact your ability to scale. If we have time to quick fire, go through all the pitches, what is your biggest challenge to scale across regions?
So, yeah, so this is a question for everybody. So I just invite you to quickly share as short as possible and just go one after the other.
Cool. Can I go first?
Sure.
Yeah. So for us, we understand that manufacturing new materials requires a lot of capital expenditure, and we've actually come up with a model that could help us lower the capital expenditure, and we're looking at licensing the technology. So we're not going to be in the manufacturing space, but essentially license the technology. And for us, it's the discovery of licensees, of franchisees to whom we can actually, supply the technology is our biggest challenge at this point. And we also need access to finance to essentially establish the technical parameters and the quality parameters according to the region in which we want to pitch this particular material.
Great, thank you. That's a very succinct way of answering that. Who wants to go next?
Can I go next? So the biggest challenge is first to get the data. So if you are going to renovate buildings, you need to know what is the current situation of that building, how much the building is consuming. So we are missing data. So you need to do that very quickly to know exactly the current status that you could say, I'm going to improve 40 or 50 or 70% this building. Second one is the financing. A lot of customers who have large buildings, for example, are missing the financing. So you need to fund it. So
great.
This is
one challenge. Yeah, biggest challenge. That's cool. Just because I'm aware of time. Let's hear from the others.
If we can have from somebody else.
Yeah, for us, I think I would say to talk to smart cities and get the administrations interested is one of the biggest challenges, because the administrative structures in most cities is very traditional and very conservative, and to get them interested in something digital and something which is very non-traditional at this point is quite difficult. And also when cities develop their own digital models, we go through a certain standard city GML ones, and if they have developed their own standards, then it's a little difficult to integrate it with our models. So that's what we're finding difficult.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dikshita.
Maybe I can pursue. For us, for Unico, obviously there are technical and data issues, but most of all, I think that the main issue is about people, because we really need to drive, to accompany and to support the change in order to sensibilize, and we literally take the time in France here, but after in all Europe and internationally, to go up on the track with the field team to train them, to form them, and it's the best way if you want that the things gets better.
Thank you, Clément.
Regarding Ekkoten, if I have 1 second, I would say I'll join Dikshita on the same issue with trying to reach the public sector, as the tendering process can be sometimes challenging. But also, I think regarding the scalability, our main challenge is that we offer services, and maybe if we move towards having a product and transform our mapping into an API, this would be easier to scale, and this is what we're working at the moment. So, well, again, if we could have fundings to extend the team and all these resources that would help.
Perfect. Thank you, Manon. What a quick rapid fire question round that we managed to get answers from all the solutions. And unfortunately, our time is up right now. We need to prepare for the next sessions that will happen. So please join the networking link in the chat and continue the conversations, get to know each other, and also get a little bit deeper into some of the questions that you had and maybe you didn't have time to share right now. Thank you all so much, and enjoy the rest of the summit. Goodbye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.